Hello everyone, welcome back for the fifth video tutorial. So for this video, we are going to focus on the utilization of data frames so that we can work on data part of it. So the intention for this is so that we can navigate to the data frames series by series, row by row, or just part of it. Okay, so we're gonna need to be able to reference to each one of this. So let's talk about, okay, so now we got the data. So we have two informations, so price and size. And also, now let's say that we are going to introduce another columns we call QTY. And also now we're gonna put let's say that we have the first apartment type for 100 baht for 10 of them for maybe like 1 unit, 2 unit, 3 unit, and 4 unit, and 5 unit, for example. And now because we're gonna need to work on this, let's say that we use 500 for this as well. And now with this inclusion, then you should have three different column, not four, okay? The first column right here is just the index column. It is used to denote the position of your data. So that means this direction show you one series, this is second series, this is another series. This direction show you one rows of the data. So that's one entity. So imagine that is equivalent to one apartment rooms, and let's say that this is the apartment in your portfolio, so you own this one for one rooms, and you own this apartment for two rooms, and so on. So now you want to figure out the total value for each apartment rooms. Okay, so therefore, how about if I put another column as well so that you know what I mean here for the name of the apartment. So let's call C1, C2, C3, C4. Well, it's a little bit long, so you can just go ahead and enter another line here. So it's going to be C4 and then C5. Okay, and then that's it. Now let's try again one more time. So that's the name. See, so that means for this type of the apartments, then you have one of this. For this type of apartment, you have two rooms, for example. Okay, now imagine I want to find the total value, so I'm gonna have to multiply QTY by the price so that I get the total value for each apartment type that I have. So that means I have to introduce another column. So introduce another columns, you go down and over here after you already have data frame. The F is used to reference to this whole table like this. Now let's say that you want to reference to only for a particular series, then you can use square bracket again just like in the list, and then you can just put the name of the column. Let's put price, and when you print it out, as you can see, it print out only one series for you, which is the series based on the price. If you want another series also, let's say that you want to print out the price and the name, then you put another one right here, and it's just gonna give you something that look like this. So therefore in pandas, if you want to print out two of this is impossible. Okay, I'll let you know how do we handle with this one. Okay, but for now what we want is we want to be able to, okay, let's go back to the origin. We want to multiply QTY by the price to give us another column we call total. How do we do this? Well, let's say that we have to multiply, column wise, element by element. This one multiplied by this one multiplied by this one multiplied by this. Then we refer to the column name. So for example, price, okay, multiplied by another series, which is QTY. And what it does is that they are going to row by rows, column wise, meaning multiply each row together. And then the output of this is going to be go to another column names. As you can see, we don't have the column total in here yet. You can create one. Okay, so it's called total then. So this is what's going to happen. It's going to go to the first row here, multiply 1 from 100 from price by 1 and give you the output which is 100 and give it to the first elements of this series, and then go down and multiply 200 by 2, give you 400, and that's going to be second element for this series as well. So after you have this is done, then you go to another df here. It's going to give you hold on, then let me print out the df. Okay, so now you got the total. as well. See, so in this data frame here, you can talk about this as like a data set. Okay, this set of the data we have 5 different features. Right now we just introduced a new feature called total. Okay, and that's going to be from the price and QTY. All right. Okay. Now, also in this case, okay, you can also just select part of this as your output. So let's say that you want to select just like the first 2 rows of the data. Then what you need to do is you're gonna have to use the function called .log. .log. That's the function call based on this object df, this variable. Then you can use the square brackets to reference. Let's say that from 0. Let's go from 0 to 2 first and see what happened. And now if you run this one, you can see that comparing to the first one, when you print out the whole things, then you got the whole data set. But if you use function .log here and you reference to the 0 to 2, it means that it's gonna inclusive. Okay, it's not exclusive anymore because it's gonna include the first row until row number 2. So now if I try number 3 right here, it's gonna also include row 3 as well. See? So that's the good thing about this. What about if I just go for -1? As you can see, this is impossible. Okay, so make sure that we just look at this as 0 and 1 like this. Okay, all right. Or what you can do is that if you want to have just like all the rows and all the rows, and we know that we're gonna have 4 rows, right? So we go up to number 4. That's gonna be all the rows. But what if I just want just column size and QTY? Okay, let's say that I can complete this one. So size and QTY, we know that it's gonna be on another column. So therefore, this is what we usually do. So whenever you want to reference to each row only, you just have this indexing scheme. But if you want rows and column as well, therefore you're gonna have to separate this into 2 different numbers. The first set of the scheme is used to denote the rows. So that's going to be row. This is going to be how many columns that you need. Okay, for in terms of the rows, then if you put column right here, if you put just colon right here, it means that I need all the rows. But if you just put like 0 and 2, it means that you want to include row 2, oh sorry, row 0 until row 2. But if you just put colon, mean every rows. Okay. For the column as well, if you put it this way, like the colon, it's going to give you all the column. Now let's play one by one. Let's say that I want to chop off just the first 2 columns. So I'm going to go with 0 and 1. As you can see, this is impossible. Because now if you want to use this one for the second one, you're going to have to reference with the name. Okay, so let me put like the name only for the price, like this. And run this. As you can see, we got the output. So always the second position should be the name of the column directly. And now you can preserve this one. For the first one, it's gonna be series number. So let's say we go from the first row until the third row. Okay, so now this is how we get the output. Again, one more time, let's comparing these two together so you can see what I mean. So I'm going to print out both of them. So the first one is the whole df. The second one say I want to have row 0 to row 3. Oh, sorry. Let me try one more time. Okay, I want row 0 to 2. But I want just a single column, which is the price. So this is the output. Ajahn, what if I would like to have the size as well? Let me try another one. Let's say like size as well. And then try again one more time. You say that it's many indexing because you're gonna have to turn this into a set. You say that Ajahn, I want to have this. Don't get me wrong, okay? So the first square bracket is used to denote 2 things: the rows index and the column index. The row index is always a number for the log function. And the second index over here is gonna be just a single name. That means you want to reference to a single series, but if you want to have the multiple series, then you have to put it into the list like this. And when you run it, you're gonna get it like this way. If you want to include the QTY as well, then you go ahead and put QTY. But don't forget that if you don't have this bracket, then this is impossible. See, this is impossible. So you always need to have, if you have multiple column on the second index here, the column index, then don't forget to put the square brackets. And you might wonder, okay, what if I don't want to type too many of them, but I want all of them just starting from this guy until the total. Do we have a choice? Well, you can do it this way, Cup. You can turn this into total as the last one. And you can say that it between including price and total as well. Oh, sorry, that's gonna be size. Let's say size. So therefore, this is what you're gonna get. I think for this referencing, then I don't think for this one you don't need the set. Okay, so whenever you have the interval like this, see previously, okay, let me go back a little bit further. Okay, now whenever you have the multiple column like this, it's okay. But whenever you want to refer from, let's say, from this one to this one, then you don't need the set. So what you need is you're gonna need to just specify, okay, take the set operator off, and then you're gonna have to say for this second column, you say it's gonna be starting from size column until the name column. Okay, don't put the square bracket to denote this as another set, so don't do it, because otherwise you're gonna get the error. Okay, so make sure that you just take it off and run this, and you're gonna get, see, this is how the ways that you don't need to worry about putting all the column name. Imagine you have like 20 columns and you just want to slide into just like 4 or 5 different columns, but the name is really long, so you can use this colon operator as well. So this is how you reference to part of your data frame. So in this case, we say we want a part from row 0 to row 4. What if I just go ahead and go to like -1? Okay, as you can see, this is impossible, so please do not do it that way. Okay, so either just use integer number, right? Okay, or now, what if I just want to go from the third one to the last one? So you can just put like 2, and that's going to include 2 to 4 for you. Okay, so that's different indexing scheme. Now to put this in all, so over here, you can just go ahead and just putting look. This is to select all the columns. So over here, just put denote all rows and all columns. Another one, we have just series size. Okay, so we're gonna say all row, but only series for the size, which is the column size. Okay, another one, we have another example for you. If we have like the look again one more time, but this time we want to look at just a particular column from 0 to 2 size. So over here you're gonna say that row 0 to 2 and only series size. Now another function here, so you can see the difference. So you say that okay, over here I want to print out a series of from 0 to 2 rows and just some column. So you can just put the square bracket like that, and this is the end. Oh, sorry, this is gonna be the end of the function loop first. And now you might wonder, Ajahn, when you say function, you always use the parentheses, but when you say function log, you use square bracket. So that's a little bit different. So this is the indexing scheme for pandas, okay? All right. Now in here, then I can just say that I want the name first, followed by the total, and then followed by the price. See, you don't need to be in order to present your data. You can just pick up any series first in this order. Okay, all right. And then as you can see, whenever you have multiple columns, you need to wrap them into the square bracket like this. If it is a single column, you do it this way. Okay, if it is like the interval of the column, don't need to put the square brackets. All right, so now let me show you the output. The size of this arrow, but only does not match opening. Okay, so let me check. Oh, I did not put the square bracket. So see, so we have the beginning, we should have the end. So we're gonna need to have this as well. All right, and then let's go one by one. See if that is working for us one by one. So this is working fine. Then we go for the second one. This is working fine. Okay, so let's go for another one. Let's go for this one. The size. This is working okay as well. Now let's go for, oh, I think that's because of this maybe. So let me take that off. And now try again one more. Oh, so that's the trouble. Okay, let me take a look at this. They say price is not the index because I have the price. See, if you're trying to use the column name or the feature name which is not part of your data frames, then they're gonna give you the error like this. Okay, so I think that's the problem. Okay, all right, and now the last one, that's gonna be the output. So as you can see, so this is the variety of ways that you can do data slicing. So just take part of the data from your data frames. Okay, all right. And I still have more to cover. Okay, I still have more to cover. So for example, we are going to now I'll show you also how do we create a new data frame. How do we create the new columns? Okay, creating the new column is like this. Okay, and then how do we reference to the series of part of the data using row function. And special for row function is that it doesn't use these parentheses, it uses square brackets. Okay, and also we have also covered data slicing when you can slice just part of it, just some column out of it. Okay, and then next time we are going to go over how do we have the data frames that support data time information as well. And then we're gonna use that to convert your data time into like the week or physical week, the days and the months and the years. Okay, and you will learn how to do this together with the data. Okay, thank you for watching. See you.